Just completely out of the blue, my gorgeous Sagittarius, at the beginning of this week, just completely out of the blue, you are going to feel so confident, so powerful, so strong, and that in itself, it's going to really help you to focus. You're gonna feel extremely sharp, and that on another hand, it's going to open your eyes towards exactly which specific part of your life came to an end. You really need to move on from this because it's been slowing you down and it's been making you feel a negative, and it was also making you to feel a kind of like a really gray and really down, about certain things that you shouldn't feel gray and down. And this happens when the specific part of our lives come to an end, but then again, because it meant to us so much so far, but we need to come to this point in our lives to understand that we are changing, people are changing, the situations are changing, and we have to respond to these changes in the best possible way. And it's also like kind of means like you were holding on to something that you used to feel so passionate about, so excited about, but then at the same time you have to be honest with yourself that that specific part of your life came to an end. So the bottom line is, my gorgeous Sagittarini, that at the beginning of this week, and I'm talking about the week in between the 21st and the 27th of November 2022, suddenly you're gonna feel so strong and so confident to actually move on from the specific part of your life that it came to an end. So far you wouldn't actually have a confidence to do this, but now the difference is going to be because your subconscious mind is going to take over. You need to pay attention to the actual synchronicity, because all around throughout the week, all around the place, you're going to be having a little signs, so you need to pay attention to the actual synchronicity, because these signs are all going to be part of this guidance, and these signs are all going to be making you aware that the specific part of your life came to an end, but you need to do something. You need to do something. It's not like, I just realized this part of my life came to an end, but you are the one who needs to make a really important decision. So which part of your life I'm talking about is the part of your life that so far actually is not very good for you anymore, and you've been aware of it for quite a while now, but especially at the same time you just need to understand that you must not do things that are actually really bad for you, because this became quite bad for you. So in itself, you do know what this is, but then at the same time you just have to be honest with yourself. On another hand, you just need to understand also that you must not rush. You must not rush. You need to come up with a little plan how you're going to do this, because I do see the importance of the importance of following certain rules, okay? And that means, and that indicates the fact that it's just basically, you're gonna feel like you just wanna do this immediately. You wanna see, but you cannot cut the corners when it comes to this type of thing in our lives. So you will feel like you want to rush with something, but you must not do this. So the bottom line is, when you become aware of like which element of your life came to an end, it is going to be on you to move on, to decide how you're gonna do this. But you're gonna need a little bit of a time, and you're gonna need to come up with a plan, and you're gonna need to, you must not like kind of like a really rush. You need to understand that you have to follow the certain rules, and that means that it's going to take just a little bit of time until this particular situation unfolds. So this is rather important indeed. And also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, it looks like at the beginning of this week, someone really precious in your life is going to need your help. And I've seen this before, and I'm seeing it again. There is a younger person, like a maybe unexperienced person, that is like thinking about doing something really silly, doing something like a rather naughty, doing something rather, I wouldn't say unusual, but something that it's extremely bad. And that in itself, it's also showing that I'm talking about somebody who is a little bit younger, a younger spirit, but also the certain person who has found themselves surrounded by the people, and rather a group of people who are really having a negative impact on this person, and it's just like these people are really kind of strong energy, and they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing type of thing. So now this younger person in your life is just like under just a little bit of danger. Nothing happened, it's nothing, oh my god, it's the end of the world. No baby, no, but it all means that there is a certain information that you need to say to that person, because there is something that you know, and all what you need to do is just to explain something to that person, and that all that person needs is some kind of like an explanation. And I can also say that there is a great deal of the actual experience that you have with that when it comes to your life, so you will know exactly what you are talking about. And but that other younger person in your life is going to find this beneficial in so many different ways, not only because you through experience you can explain this and that person in your life knows this, but also at the same time you are going to start a remarkable process of the actual healing energy. You're gonna create a remarkable amount of a healing energy, which you are going to transfer to that person, at the same time as soon as you start talking, because it's all about love and emotions, and the vibration in between you and that other person. Why am I talking about that person so long now? I go to Sagittarini, because this is someone from your life. This is someone who means to you so much. This is someone so important to you, but rather sensitive due to their age, and sometimes I'm not like an ageist or something, like a younger person, you know what I mean? And also at the same time, person can become also vulnerable when they get a little bit older. It depends. And I say vulnerable because sometimes people get certain illnesses and things like that makes them to go vulnerable. Not always, of course, but I'm just saying that, it's down to the actual age. In this case, it's to do with the person being young and person being unexperienced, and most importantly, the person who means to you the whole world. So somebody extremely connected to you, like a family member, or it could even be a remarkable friend, when people are in our lives for such a long time, they do indeed become like a family member. So this is what you need to understand. And also, my gorgeous Sagittarini, what I also quite like here, it's mental in the best possible way. At the beginning of this week, you're also going to really have a very kind of unusual sign, an unusual omen, and this very unusual sign and unusual omen that you are going to have at the beginning of this week, it's going to happen at around the time when you're going to hear, first of all, a very strange noise, a very strange sound, which is nothing to do with an animal or anything like that, but it's going to be very strange noise and very strange sound. And after that moment in time, there is going to be some kind of animal, like a bird, that you are going to become aware of, whether that bird again is going to be flying, whether this bird is going to be walking, whether this bird is going to be standing on your windowsill, it doesn't matter. This is a spirit, this is your message from your spirit guide, and the message from your spirit guide, it's going to reflect on two particular things. As soon as you become aware of an unusual noise, unusual sound, you need to understand that very shortly after that moment in time, you're going to see a little bird. There is something also going to be rather unusual and strange and bizarre about that little bird. And that little bird is going to help you to reflect on a couple of things. Immediately, you need to release the blockage on your mind, because you will see that you're thinking very negatively about an aspect of your life that you have to be as optimistic as you can. So this is an amazing guidance, because at that moment in time, the spirit is going to try to let you know to release that amount of negative energy so you can actually literally move forward, okay? But at the same time, baby, even better, when you become aware of that, a rather lucky and powerful omen, which is going to be connected to the bird. And we had so many animals like bringing us omens over the last couple of years. It's absolutely incredible, but I'm not surprised, because we do have this ridiculously powerful connection with animals, with the animal world. Whether people believe this or not, we are like connected like big mamas. Do you know what I mean? It's like we talk telepathically, and people never even kind of say anything about it, but we do literally talk with the animals telepathically, and so there is a remarkable connection, and generally, but let alone when it comes to the actual spirit world and things like that, and us having an understanding in specific messages. So what's the second message that you're going to be able to understand when you have this omen through the spirit? through your spirit guide. Well, the second message is going to be like, you need to understand that after that moment, and not that long after you become aware of this bird, my gorgeous Sagittarini, not that long after that moment in time, you are gonna have a really important message, really important message. You know, this is a big thing now. So, you know, pay attention to the strange noise, pay attention to the strange sound, pay attention to when you see the bird. But you know, let me tell you something, like, even if you don't become aware of like a strange noise, even if you don't become aware of a strange sound, even if you don't become aware of that bird that I'm talking about, it doesn't really matter. These are only additional things that you are going to be able to pick up on, okay? The more open-minded you are, the more the more you're going to be able to pick up. You see what I mean? The more open you are, generally, you're going to be able to pick up on these little signs and messages that I'm talking about. But even if you are not aware, or even if you don't become aware of these signs and messages when it comes to seeing bird, or when it comes to like hearing a sound, you know, that means on the one hand it's actually good, because it means that you haven't got any kind of negativity to kind of release. You're not blocking yourself, you know, from moving forward. But if you hear it, then, and if you become aware of that sign, that's immediately a sign that you do have to like really release this negativity from your mind, because your own negativity is preventing you to move forward. So you have to release that and be optimistic. But even if you don't see an animal, even if you don't hear a sound, this is all going to boil down towards what? Towards you having an important message. Okay, so if you see this animal, if you see this good omen, okay, if you hear that sound, not long after that moment in time, you are going to get an important, mind-blowing message. Okay, but if you don't hear the sound, and if you don't see this bird as an animal messenger, then you're still going to have an important message at the beginning of the week. It's all boiled down towards an important, mind-blowing message where you are. That message is going to open your eyes. That message is going to bring you so much hope. That message is going to make you feel so good about yourself. That message is going to make you feel alive again. It is going to bring you an inspiration that it's even going to make you feel artistic. So what this message is all about, what am I talking about? Oh my God! What this message is about, my gorgeous Sagittarini, it's like an opportunity, but it's more like it's an opportunity. It's an option that it's about to bring one of the brightest prospects into your life. And as the time goes by, there is so much that you're going to find out about yourself through this opportunity option. There is so much that you're going to learn about yourself. There is so much inspiration that this is about to bring into your life. So you need to understand that important message that you're going to have. It's going to make you feel so good about yourself, because you're going to become aware of this like mind-blowing bright prospects coming into your life. But you know what, let me tell you that you're not even gonna understand how big this is actually going to be. But instantly this is gonna make you feel alive. Instantly this is gonna start changing so much, because at the same time it's connected to what you wanted to do for such a long time. And it's also going to highlight the certain gift that you have. It's going to highlight what you want to do. It's going to highlight what you always wanted to do. It's going to highlight, you know, the fact that this is a spiritual bridge towards the way you want your life to be. But your life, it's not going to become the way you want to become unless you actually kind of get on with these bright prospects. This is going to be absolutely remarkable, but it's at the same time going to make you like a really psychic, you know, like you are kind of going to start really kind of feeling things you haven't felt in a long time, in terms of like your intuition. But you're also, after that moment in time, you're going to start like kind of remembering your dream, and you're going to start dreaming, you know, suddenly. I'm not saying that you're not dreaming, but I'm saying that you're going to be kind of like it's going to be also much more enhanced, you know. You're going to be able to remember your dream more, but you're going to dream because your dreams are going to become so much more vivid. And this is also a really good sign that you are spiritually opening. Why? Because you have found yourself on the past that is not only very sacred to you, but it's really to do with your soul purpose, and it's going to make you extremely excited and happy normally, but also it's going to be superb for your financial situation. Or like, oh my God, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you are indeed entering a rather spiritual week, and I'm not surprised because it's starting on the 21st and it's going to end up on the 27th. So it's all about an inspiration, but it's all about us like spiritually feeling things that we haven't felt in an absolute ages. And you're also going to have a really kind of like a psychic and intuitive message. Something is going to come to you. This is going to make you feel so happy, so good, and you are going to start kind of doing things, you know, around the house, for example, like being extremely creative, like through your own happiness, because you're going to be thinking, oh my God, these bright prospects, you know, I can do this, I'm so happy about it. So this is going to reflect on your own energy, so you can find yourself like being, you're going to find yourself being so active around the house, for example, around your garden if you've got one, for example, you know. And then at the time when you feel extremely creative, there is a kind of like now suddenly you're gonna understand deeper, even more, like financially, how good this is actually going to be good for you, and you're gonna find yourself like planning how you're gonna do this, how you're gonna do that. But there are lots of intuitive and psychic messages that you are going to have at the time when you feel so creative. But most importantly, you're gonna realize exactly what an impact that this is actually going to make, not only on your finances and happiness, but it's also going to make an amazing impact on those things in your life you actually want to protect, not only when it comes to like your assets, but also when it comes to people in your life, when it comes to people that are the most important to you in your life, and things like that. So this indeed in itself is going to be brilliant. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Sagittarini, by the time you get to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Sagittarini, I just want to say it to you. Just say Sagittarini, Sagittarini, pararapam, parapam, papapapapararam, Sagittarini, Sagittarini, ta-ta-ra-ta, ta-ra-ta, pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-ra-ram, Sagittarini, raise your vibration, Sagittarini, Sagittarini, pa-pa-ra-pam, pa-ra-pam, pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-ra-ram, Sagittarini, Sagittarini, pa-pa-ra-pam, pa-ra-pam, pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-ra-ram, Sagittarini, Sagittarini, pa-ra-ra-pam, pa-ra-pam, pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-ra-ram, pam, 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 pam. Pam param pam 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 parara pam para pam pa 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 pararam pam 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 param pam pa pa pam parara pam para pam do 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 do. My gorgeous Sagittarini, always raise your vibration. By the time you get to the mid part of this week, this is gonna be like a really, you know what, someone is going to need just a little bit of your help. Someone is going to need your help. Okay, and this is another person here that I'm seeing that it's actually going to need your help, and this is like a bit of a karmic test here. The person that is going to need your help here, perhaps I can see it's a lot to do with the financial help, and it's a lot to do with the finances, but it's also a lot to do with somebody who you are feeling like a bit adrift apart from, but it's also someone who you feel like, you know, someone who you don't really like, or someone who has done something to you in the past. So you're gonna find yourself on the crossroads a little bit. I'm telling you, this is this is like a karmic test. The person, or maybe perhaps that person that is going to need your help, and it's to do with your finances as well. Perhaps, you know, maybe you helped to that person already so many times, but it's important. You know, I'm not telling you what to do. You know, you do whatever you want to do with your life, but there is a bit more to this. It's only just like a little bit of help. I'm not saying to go out and to go like give money. Do you know what I mean? Please don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about someone really specific in your life. For the love of God, if you can help this person, just help them, please, because that in itself, it's really kind of going to be, this is going to get back to you a million times in a million different ways. So it's almost as if maybe this person asked you for help few times, but there is something not quite right with this person as well. There is something that they're doing to themselves as well, that particular person, and they are being rather unhappy when it comes to their life, and I can see also a negative attachment to them. So either they're on some kind of like a strange substances, or like a little bit of illegal substances or something like that. I'm not too sure. It is very difficult to say, but I'm just saying that if that person does need help, you know, please do help them, because there is a bit more to it. That person is actually playing a really specific role in your life, because karmically, only a couple of days after that moment in time, you need to understand, this is important. You help this person, look what is going to happen. When you help this person, you will see what is going to happen. Maybe that person needs a bit of a food, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be necessarily financial, but they are going to need a bit of a help, you know? And you will see that after a couple of days, you are going to become aware of like a few different options that are really going to surprise you. Not the actual options, but a very strong connection that you're going to feel. And these few different options are going to be rather interesting to you. And but also the one of these few options is going to be like, oh my God. And one of these few options, it's also gonna be relevant so much somehow to number 7. Whether you're gonna see this is 7 p.m., 7 minutes past a certain hour, there is a very strong connection to the one specific, the biggest options of these few options that you will be facing a couple of days after that. There is a one specific option of these few options, it's going to be connected to number 7. That's the one you need to go for. But for some reason, you are going to feel like, oh God, you know, it's an incredible option, but for some reason you are going to feel like a little bit defensive when it comes to that particular option. And then you are going to find out something. You're going to become aware of something that you weren't aware of before. So that in itself is going to open your eyes, but it's also going to make you aware of the fact that you do not need to be defensive whatsoever, because there is something that you're going to find out, a little secret, and that little secret is going to open your eyes, and it's really going to change your mind at the time when you need your mind to be changed. You need to understand, you know, what you're going to find. It's almost like you're going to feel a little bit defensive because you're going to be scared because of something. I can see a little bit of fear, you know, because of stepping towards the unknown, because of the certain uncertainty, and that is somehow going to make you feel rather defensive. But at the same time, my gorgeous Sagittarini, you need to understand that there is no need to fear whatsoever. What you're going to find out, what you're going to become aware of, is going to remind you how powerful you are. So you're not going to be defensive after that moment in time whatsoever. By the time you get to the last part of this week, my gorgeous Sagittarini, is just basically you are going to find yourself on a spiritual quest. You're going to look left, oh, I want different, I want more out of life. You're going to look on the right hand side. Oh, I want more out of life. You're going to look up. I want more out of life. You're going to look down. I want more out of life. You will just feel like there's so many things that you're becoming so bored of, you know, so many aspects. And you're going to find yourself thinking, why didn't I do anything before? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? The bottom line is that at the end of the week, you are, you know, gonna find yourself on the, like a very much so on the spiritual quest. This is all to do with you wanting more out of life. So how are you going to know this? Because at around the end of the week, you are going to feel like a little bit silly, but in a good way. You're going to feel a little bit weird. You're going to feel a little bit different at around the end of the week. And this is when you know that this is going to happen. So at around the end of the week, you're going to feel a little bit silly, a little bit weird, a little bit different. Something is going to happen. You're going to feel like, oh yeah, I've always been weird a little bit. Yeah, it's like my life story, you know. But you're going to feel a little bit weird and a little bit different. And this is how you will know how this is all going to start. Like, oh, that you want more out of life. And also at the same time, you are really kind of going to be be thinking about exploring something and finding out a bit more about investigating a certain aspect of your life that is going to be on your mind persistently, and you will know what this is because it's going to make you feel remarkably optimistic, you know, at that moment in time. But this is something that was on your mind for quite a while now. Now this is going to be highlighted at the time when you realize that you want more out of life. So this is going to reflect on you knowing exactly what do you need to investigate, what you need to explore, what you need to find out a bit further, and you will know what this is because it's going to make you feel extremely optimistic, and you're just going to feel like you don't care in the best possible way. And this is when your power is going to come up because you're following your subconscious mind, you're following your intuition, you're doing exactly what your voice within is telling you to do. Sometimes we can feel like so uncertain, but we feel that force that we cannot explain, and this is your spiritual essence talking to you. This is your spiritual essence guiding you. You just let yourself go with the flow and see where it's going to take you. And something unexpected is actually going to happen at around that time. Something is going to surprise you completely. What you're going to see, you're also going to see something, and what you're going to see is going to remind you of your own vision that you had for such a long time. And what you're going to see, it's on one hand going to make you aware of some kind of a devil and some kind of a very unhealthy attachment in your life, and it's going to confirm to you things that you've already knew. But on another hand, what you're going to see and what you're going to become aware of, it's also going to give you an idea how to start up a certain project. Indeed, this is going to mean to you so much, and for the first time in a long time you are going to make such a big step, which is literally going to start changing slowly but surely every single aspect of your life. Okay, so now, my gorgeous Sagittarini, I'm just going to shuffle these oracle cards, and I'm going to see what is going to be an oracle card of the week. So what is going to be an oracle card of the week? And this is the week in between the 21st and 27th of November. So what is going to be an oracle card? What is going to be an oracle card? Okay, it's a talent. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. This week, my gorgeous Sagittarini, your talent is going to be highlighted. So you have to follow your passion. You have to follow, you know, those like kind of like a voices within. You have to follow things that are inspiring you, because by the end of this week, the most important thing here is that your talent is going to be highlighted. Something really big and specific is going to happen this week. Something unusual though, where you're gonna kind of need to respond in your own way, and the way you're gonna respond, it's also going to really highlight the talent that I'm talking about, and it's all going to be leading towards you understanding that now it's time for you to take that talent on the next stage, next level of your life. And how you're going to do this? By paying attention to things that are inspiring you, because it's all going to be completely connected, and you will see exactly what I mean. Okay, my gorgeous Sagittarini, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.